right, tell us who you are.
I am Jessica Tuttle, the current district sales manager for the Portland district.
All right, tell us your Sherwin story.
Okay, so I actually started out in Maryland with Sherwin-Williams after selling tools for TTI, Rigid Ryobi, Milwaukee, and I got reached out to on LinkedIn, had an interview with a man named Fred Davis, and I pushed back and I said, I don't want to go into sales if it's just a car salesman trick piece. I want to actually help people, walk me through, sell me on Sherwin-Williams. He told me about the culture, the people that work here, and how we take care of each other, and we get together and put food on painters' tables, and I was sold. I wanted to be a part of that culture and haven't looked back since.
All right, tell us about any spill that you've seen, done yourself, or heard of.
We've all spilled some paint and seen quite a bit, but the one that sticks out the most was really early in my career. I was just a store manager in Crofton, Maryland. One of my employees delivered paint to an apartment complex and they spilled a little bit of it, didn't tell me, and I got a call from that manager saying, hey, there's paint all over my sidewalk. What are you gonna do about it? So I grabbed one of our wire brushes and I got some paint thinner and I drove out to the property and I spent about 30 minutes to an hour just scrubbing a sidewalk, trying to get some paint off. It's a hard one to forget, so do what's right by the customer even if it is painful.
All right, how do you want to be remembered at Sherwin-Williams?
That's actually one of your tougher questions. I don't really want to be remembered for anything notable outside of just helping each person individually where I can and just getting into people's personal narratives of how it helped their lives. So more individually than corporate-wide status.
All right, so what has made you want to stay with Sherwin-Williams since joining the company?
Pretty much the reason why I joined in the first place, to be able to make a difference into our customers' lives. And it's really fun being able to problem solve on the fly. People come to you, you have to have a solution or at least know what questions you're supposed to ask. And it's fun to find ways to continually try to improve and get better. And this is a place where we can always grow and develop our careers, and we'll always see different and new challenges, and you're just stronger when you overcome them.
All right, let's hear some of your interests outside of work.
Okay, so moved to Oregon for a great reason, because I love where we're at. So I like biking, hiking. I will take my kayak usually out on lakes, which is a bit trickier, so you'll find me up in Vancouver moving my kayak up there, because rivers, you need a good crew to go up to. I also like doing pottery, like ceramics, like the pottery wheel side of it, so that's always really fun too. Reading, video games, got the PS5, Harry Potter and Call of Duty are always great. And I just got a puppy, so I have 2 dogs, a cat, and a snake, and me and my husband are busy keeping track of all of them.
Okay, what has been your most funny or memorable moment at Sherwin-Williams?
I got one that hits both, Cameron. Last year, when I was new in my DSM role, I got invited out on a fishing trip with Absolute Painting. Kuna was there as well as Ryan. And the fun thing about going fishing for a whole day is trying to find a bathroom. And as the one female on the boat, it was a great time when I had to use the 5-gallon bucket at the end of the boat. And all the guys got to turn around, stand at the front, and I was very exposed and vulnerable in that moment, but you find a lot of strength in the people around you. But I don't think I'm ever gonna forget that moment of the silence being filled. It'll stay with me for a long time, but overcame that fear for sure.
Okay, and who has been a mentor to you at Sherwin-Williams, and what have they done to impact you the most?
Fred Davis, the gentleman I interviewed for my MTP position when I was first starting out with Sherwin. He had such a great approach to building a team, giving your people what they need, making sure that everyone was seen, heard, valued. I remember even when we were doing a first impressions walkthrough and I was a store manager, he was driving the car and there was 4 of us in there with him and we were talking about Game of Thrones, and he just stops, he goes, Jessica, tell me why I should like Game of Thrones. So I start trying to tell him about like Khaleesi, all the cool stuff, and then he pushed back a little bit. I'm not really into fantasy. Tell me more. This goes on for a little bit, and then I pick up, he's doing a sales exercise, and he's making me sell him on this TV show to demonstrate negotiating, where you have to meet your customer and find out what they like before you try to tell them something that you like. So every moment with him was a teaching moment, but you felt so safe to even put your foot in your mouth and make a mistake, because we're all human and we do make mistakes. I just reached out to him last week to check in. He's now the district manager out in DC, and he's doing great. He just builds a community of people around him everywhere he goes, and I'm happy to have him on my board of directors.
All right, and finally, if you could give one message to the entire district, what would it be?
We need every single one of you, especially times like right now. Currently, when Cameron and I are doing this, I'm 1 out of 3 sales managers, and I just have to say thank you. There has been such a rally cry from everybody in this district stepping up and helping to fill these holes, so we're still meeting our customers where they're at. So know what you bring to the table. Any position that you have with Sherwin-Williams, we need you, and we need to hear your voice. And if you have an idea, please tell me or anyone and get that idea out there, because we can only get better together. It's fine to have 6 people in a room talking about what we want the district to do, but I'd much rather have your voice in the room too. So please reach out to ERGs, your pod leaders, get involved and make a difference and create the district that you want to be a part of, because you can.